that you are up first.
What?
Should MLB punish Turner for his actions?
No. And I'm fully aware that I am in the minority. I'm fully aware that I'm probably standing alone on this. I don't give a damn. This man found out at the end of the 7th inning.
Yeah.
You talking to me about this guy's been there for 12 years. It's a World Series on the line. You said that the tests were inconclusive. You knew this before the game. You knew this during the game, which means that you had a license to keep him in the game or to pull him. You made the choice to keep him in the game. Once you pulled him from the game at the end of the 7th inning, okay? It's the World Series. It's a championship. You waited your entire career for this. And excuse me, I'm supposed to sit up there after I've been playing for 7 innings, after I've been around my teammates, after I've been on the field, after we played the first 7 innings. And then all of a sudden, because I want to celebrate, I have to be punished? What about Major League Baseball's protocols? I love how everybody's talking about Justin Turner. I love how we're debating the Dodgers. I love how that, but we're not debating the fact, Max Kellerman, MLB, you said months ago, they should have had a damn bubble. We had question marks, huge question marks, as to whether or not they were going to complete the season. When the Miami Marlins had all of those positive tests, we pointed the finger at Major League Baseball. When the St. Louis Cardinals had all those tests, had a few positive tests anyway, we pointed at Major League Baseball. Even when a couple of Cleveland Indians, even though those players tried to get slick and what have you, we still pointed to Major League Baseball. Why? Because you didn't have a bubble. You were allowing guys to come and go as they please. Yes, they were getting tested every day, but you were allowing them to come and go as they please because you couldn't negotiate having them in any kind of a bubble that would restrict their movement and therefore prevent them from being, spreading the virus in some kind of way. Major League Baseball, you don't play a role in this? If you were sloppy all along, I'm supposed to sit up there and capitulate to all of this in the 8th inning of a World Series game when I just finished playing the first 7 innings. I've been around my teammates the last few days. The entire series, they said it's like a 2 to 14-day incubation period, and obviously they had played the World Series. So in other words, they timed it and said he might have contracted all of this last week. Well, you've been around him all of these days. You were around him that day. You were around him that game. For the first 7 innings, if this had happened before the game,
he tests positive. It's crazy to me.
If this had happened before the game, I got it. But the fact that he played 7 innings and you pulled him out in the 7th inning, the one more, you don't get that moment back. I'm sorry. I don't think he should be punished. And you should have worn a mask, should have engaged in social distancing. But to be punished, this man just won the World Series, and we're actually having a conversation about him being punished 24 hours.
They say he's one of the heartbeats of the team.
I don't know if you've ever been more wrong about anything on this show.
Sure.
Now, look, I will say this. Yesterday, I was on the radio, and when I first heard he wasn't compliant with Major League Baseball, he emphatically disagreed. I said suspend him for a year. And Stephen A. knows when you're doing radio and the news comes in and you get hot about it, sometimes you say something on the spot and you calm down and think about it, and you go, not a year. But I'm serious about a serious punishment for Justin Turner. Here's the problem. We have not taken COVID seriously enough in this country, period. What are you talking about? I'm walking around with a mask. I haven't seen my relatives in 6 months. No, we haven't. We were late to close. We were early to open. Not enough people wearing masks. People in denial about the death count, which is approaching 250,000 dead Americans. Mm-hmm. Why do you think in Canada their percentage of COVID cases is so much lower than here, less than half as a percentage of the population? Took it more seriously. We are not, and we share a border with Canada, we are not taking it seriously enough. It's one thing, and that's the fault of, it's not just American kind of exceptionalism or the sense that we're individuals and we're risk takers. I think that plays into it, and that's legitimate. It's part of what makes America America. But a lot of it is bad role modeling from the very top of our government, obviously. And when it trickles down like this, we see the effects. Justin Turner, everything you said is true, Stephen A. Wait, I was able to be in the dugout with an inconclusive test. You can play Major League Baseball for that. But then the test comes back positive. And they test the sample again, and it comes back positive.
Yeah.
He has COVID actively right now. At that point, you got to go sequester yourself. You got to go isolate yourself. Or he needs to be taken somewhere into isolation. That's the attitude everyone has to have. And if we do that, we'll get it under control. And if we don't, this is what we get, right? Now, he went out on, okay, he kissed his wife. Yeah, we've talked about this. He's figuring, if I have it, she has it. I understand that. It's within your own household. I get it. Mm-hmm. You go out on the field with your teammates. You sit next to a cancer survivor who's like 50 years old. Well, how
Dave Roberts.
How old is Dave Roberts now? Dave Roberts got to be about 48 years old, who survived cancer. Now, even if you say, well, it's okay with his teammates, it's okay with his manager, they accept the risk. That's not even the point. It's not about you, and it's not even about the person you're interacting with. It's about all of us, especially the most vulnerable among us. There is a lot of misinformation out there right now that there are only 9,000 people dead of COVID. That's an idiotic statistic. Where people are getting that from, that's disinformation. Where they're getting it from is that that's how many people died of COVID with no other problem. No diabetes, no whatever else. But that's the very point. If you have an underlying condition, this can be a deadly disease. That's mainly who we're protecting when we try to stop the spread. If he's around people, if he willfully said, I know I'm positive, but to hell with it, I won the World Series and I'm going to be out there with my teammates, and baseball said don't, and he went out there anyway, Stephen A., I haven't heard from Justin Turner. I'd like to hear his side of the story because we don't know if that's exactly true. That's what Major League Baseball is saying.
They could have restrained him. You could put some of this on MLB as well.
Let's see. Well, we don't even know what let's wait until Justin Turner gives his side, and we'll see what happens. But if his side coincides with theirs, at least a month suspension, like a serious suspension.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.